Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.za.
Welcome to another edition of Shapeshifters, brought to you by the SAC PCMP, bringing you all the latest industry news. In our studios today, we have Mr. Issac Nkosi, the newly inducted president of the SAC PCMP. Welcome, Mr. Nkosi. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Ewan, and thank you to the listeners of Brand Live.
Mr. Nkosi, let's start with how long you've been associated with the SAC PCMP.
Ewan, I've been associated with the SAC PCMP for 9 years now. And out of those 9 years, I've started off as an assessor in terms of, the work of the council, assessing registration applications for construction project managers and construction managers. And the last 4 years was associated with the council as a vice president of the council until June, when my colleagues, in their confidence, elected me to be the president.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Can you describe your current role? What does a president of the SAC PCMP do?
Right. The council of the SAC PCMP is the governing structure. And in terms of governance, and we are not exempt to what the act that establishes the SAC PCMP requires of us as a governing structure, and then all the governance legislation and policies like King 4 and the PFMA and so on. Now we, as I said, as a governing structure, we are supposed to give direction in terms of strategy, in terms of policy to the SAC PCMP. My role is to lead that, the governing structure of the SAC PCMP as the president, and in providing that leadership to ensure that we strictly adhere to good governance principles, amongst other things, and just giving leadership to the SAC PCMP in terms of accomplishing our mandate that's been given to us in terms of the Act. Yeah.
It's a huge responsibility, this leadership, considering what's happening in our world today. Tell me, how do you view leadership? In a broad sense first, before you talk about the SAC PCMP.
Leadership, in my own understanding, and and also following on what others have done in terms of the work on leadership, is having to influence those that are in your team and those that you are working with, and those maybe in your community, in achieving a set goal. Mm-hmm. If you can influence them to work together as a team, and you are able to lead, then you are a leader. Mm. It's about influence. It's about setting the tone. Mm-hmm. It's about being ethical about what you do, and it's basically heading the ship all the time in the right direction.
Yes, about responsible leadership, I suppose.
It is, yes.
And under the leadership of under leadership of the last council and your current leadership, how have you seen this council growing from strength to strength?
Okay, we under the leadership of the fourth term council, you mean?
Yes.
Okay, and obviously the leadership of the fifth term council, we've just started. What I can say is that, first of all, let me talk about the fourth term council. When we came in, I was part of the leadership of that, being the vice president, and the president was Mr. Eric Manchidi. We had to focus on certain things. There was a lot of work that was done by our predecessors, the third term council led by Professor Raymond Nkado, and we had to start from where they left from in terms of governance, establishing governance structures of the council, in terms of establishing making sure that there are the systems and processes in terms of registration, in terms of implementing the code of conduct for our registered professionals, and in terms of dealing with the backlogs in terms of registering of candidates, or the progression from candidacy to professionals. Okay, and in terms of also growing or dealing effectively with the registration of the construction health and safety professionals. And then I think also just to make sure that the work of the council is done efficiently and effectively. So there were a lot of interventions that we had to bring in, and we had to make sure that the council's image as well is also enhanced out there, and our also interaction with our stakeholders is also improved, so that we are a bit more out there, engaging our stakeholders, because we view our work, our mandate as that, amongst other things, requires the interaction with our stakeholders out there. Yeah. So
and one of them, of course, is Brand Life.
Yes, exactly.
So that's
why we are here. Yeah.
Yes.
thanks, Ruben. Yeah, thanks for reminding us. Yeah.
And what is your vision as president of the SAC-PCMP? What's your vision for this council? Okay.
My vision cannot be in isolation. It has to be the vision of the SAC-PCMP.
Yes.
Simply put, the vision of the SAC-PCMP is that to be a world-class regulatory body for the built environment management professions. The built environment, I will emphasize the management professions part of it, because that's who we register and regulate and develop. And my vision cannot be far off from there.
Yes.
Okay. So my vision is also to see the organization become a nationally and internationally recognized and respected regulator of the built environment management professions. So it has to be aligned.
Yes.
Yeah. And when I say it's not only mine, because I've got my colleagues in council as well.
Yes.
That share the same vision.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. And do you see any challenges for the fifth term council?
Like anything else in life. Challenges will always be there.
Yes.
Yeah, and we are not exempt. The fourth term council, we were never exempt from challenges. The challenges will always be there, internal and external. Internal challenges, yes, we are leading and making sure that the challenges are dealt with. I think those are the what I would say in terms of the fifth term council. We've identified our major challenges, and these are the ones that we would like to see being focused on, and so that we can effectively, accomplish our mission and realize our vision at the end of the day. And that's basically if I have to itemize the challenges, there are too many, but the key ones and the extremely strategic ones. Is we would like to start expediting the processes of progression of candidates in all the categories that we are responsible for, which is construction project management, construction mentorship, construction health and safety agents, construction health and safety managers, construction health and safety officers as well. Would like to deal with this challenge. It's a challenge which is across. You'll find rather in most of the built environment professional councils, and we as SSC-PCMP would like to focus on that, and so that we can make a change. And if I may say, Juven, it is an issue of transformation as well.
Correct.
You know,
Yes.
we need to transform the built environment professions. I think one of the starting points is this progression from candidature to professional. Yeah.
And I suppose another aspect of transformation is activating youth, is to get the youth involved in the sector.
Exactly. That's why my second point was that the other challenge that we need to deal with, rather, we need to build on the growth of the student chapter.
Yes.
Involvement of the youth, as you rightly say so. And our program in youth activations is also one of the ways that we'd like to get the youth, the youth involved, and then our student chapter to grow. The other one is also, as I said earlier on, increasing the pace of transformation of the built environment management professions in terms of gender and demographics.
Yes.
So the statistics in terms of that not looking good at the moment.
Yes.
But
yes.
As they say with anything in life, we have to start from somewhere.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
we're also going to focus on that as the Fifth Term Council.
Yes.
And then also I'll isolate one item out of the broader transformation focus, which is the increase in the registration of the number of women in construction management. Yes, we've seen the pace hasn't been what we had expected.
Yes.
And we would want to also increase in the number of women registering in construction management.
Yes.
Yes, we do have a number of women that have registered as construction project managers. Mm-hmm. It's not what we would want to have. We would want to have a higher percentage.
Yes.
But relative to construction management, we've got a much lower number, which we are working on now. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I suppose another challenge that's coming on the radar is the registration of building inspectors. That's another challenge, and I think it's going to grow the council even more.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that development?
Well, the Third Term Council had started, and they had done some fantastic groundwork in terms of the registration the start of the registration of building inspectors. And we've had interactions with our various stakeholders in the industry, including our sister Built Environment Professional Council, like Issac, the EXAs, and obviously our CBE and the Department of Public Works, the National, the NHBRC, who are the sponsors or the custodians of the built. The building inspectors. Yeah. So we have we've had those discussions were held, an MOU was signed, and we are now focusing on implementing the program for registration of building inspectors in various categories of registration, of course.
Yes, sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Don't go away. We'll be back soon.
Harnessing the power of talk radio. Brandlive.co.za.
Whether you're an athlete or just going about your day-to-day business, use Turbo Freeze on the go for any pain relief or inflammation. It's the #1 pain relief formula. To find out more, log on to our website www.turbofreeze.co.za.
Hey Bonang, how are you?
Hi Tuli, look so beautiful. Hey, long time no see. What happened to your skin, by the way? The last time I saw you, you had a lot of blemishes and breakouts. It was so terrible, man.
Wow, thanks for that, Bonang. Luckily, I discovered DMK. Have you heard of DMK?
DMK? Who are they?
DMK is a paramedical skincare brand that specializes in all skin conditions. Would you like their number?
Yes, please.
I know you're not good at numbers, so let me give you their website address because your skin looks terrible. It's www.dmkskincare.co.za.
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Grow! Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.bstownmedia.co.za.
You're listening to brandlive.co.za.
Welcome back. We're back on air. Just by the way, if you have any questions, any queries, you can email us at admin, ADMIN, at sacpcmp.org.za. We're back with Mr. Nkosi. Mr. Nkosi, the SACPCMP will host its 6th Project and Construction Management Professions Conference at Gallagher Estate from the 29th to the 31st of October this year. Can you describe to us how this conference has grown? It's the 6th conference, the 6th in the series. Can you describe to us how this initiative has grown over the years?
Okay, we've, as I said, I mean, this is the 6th conference, and we've had so far 5. Started with our colleagues, the 3rd term council, and the conference has grown in terms of the numbers, of course, and in terms of the audience, in terms the kind of delegate you get at the conference. And we've gotten more and more of our registered professionals and our candidates and in all the various categories of registration participating as well over the years. And we've got our VAs, voluntary associations, that are recognized by the SSCPCMP, also participating in and supporting the conference. And I think if I may just say that the one key objective of the conference is that it is a platform, very uniquely so, which provides a setting where all our stakeholders, including the government and industry, civil society and academic institutions, to share information. We discuss matters and issues relating to growth, development, and transformation of the South African built environment.
Yes. Oh, sounds interesting. Can you tell us what are the highlights for the conference this year?
Okay, like any other conference we've had before, we will have the first day of the conference master classes.
Yes.
And various topics will be discussed in terms of that. And then on the second day, we'll also have the participation of the keynote address by the Minister of Public Works. And I think we'll have various interesting topics as well as part of the conference, presented by various subject matter leaders, rather.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we have, His Worship the Mayor of the City of Joburg, Johannesburg, Mr. Herman Mashaba, gracing the occasion, and then the MEC for infrastructure development in Gauteng, Mr. Jacob Mabolo, will also be gracing our conference. And I think for me, one of the highlights of the conference as well, amongst others, is the panel discussion of the President's Forum of the South African Council for the Project and Construction Management Professions. This is where the presidents of the various voluntary associations that are recognized by us as SSPCMP we are going to have a panel discussion on many topics, and it gives us an opportunity also to sort of highlight, our work in terms of stakeholders engagement, and alignment in terms of, how the SSCPCMP will fulfill its mandate in the next 5 years.
And you're leading that presidential forum discussion?
Yes, I will be leading that discussion, and we look forward to a robust discussion and robust debate, and probably difficult questions from the audience.
I'm sure. Yes. Would transformation be one of the issues that you'll be talking about?
Yes, that will be the key issue.
Yeah.
One of the things that we emphasize on as part of the agenda of this forum, which is really a platform where our VAs, presidents of the VAs, and myself, and my colleagues in council come together to discuss, amongst other things, matters pertaining to transformation and how we can strategically, coming together as the various organizations in the built environment to deal with the issues of transformation, gender transformation in the built environment, issues of demographics, transformation. And then the issue of youth participation in the built environment. So it is basically, I think, in a nutshell, that's what the forum, amongst other things, is all about. Yeah. Transformation is one of the key things that we need to work together with all our stakeholders in order to achieve.
Yes. Yeah. Sounds like a session that shouldn't be missed. Definitely.
I won't advise anyone to miss that
one. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And when it comes to master classes, could you just unpack for the listeners what exactly a master class is?
Okay, a master class is briefly is a panel, well, for lack of a better word, a panel or a session that you have with a subject matter expert who presents to the audience, who happen to be our registered professionals, could be our candidates, or any member of the public, academia, and the like, on a topic that is has some new developments probably, and new insights that have come out, and in terms of the built environment. Could be on construction, health and safety, risk management, could be on contracts, and could be on issues of the economy, how it's affecting the built environment at the moment, and so on.
So it's a very focused kind of technical discussion.
Yes, it is a focused and technical discussion, but as I said, mostly to bring out new insights, new knowledge, new information, or basically that
sounds interesting.
Yeah, that's just come out.
This council is growing from strength to strength. Yes. Where do you see this council in 2 decades from now? In about 20 years, where do you see this council, Mr. Nkosi?
Right. That's it can only be the vision.
Yes.
In 20 years' time. Yes, exactly that. To be a world class, still maintain, probably exceed that expectation, aspiration that we have, rather. Yeah. That to still be a world class regulator of the built environment professions.
Yes.
More so, for me, what I would want to see is the transformation of the built environment management professions.
Yes.
That the council should be more representative in terms of the registered persons, in terms of, I hope, the few candidates that will be there.
Yes.
And in terms of the youth and students, should be representatives of the demographics of our country, of the gender balances of our country, and the like, in 20 years' time. That if we could achieve that, for me, I would have said we've done our part in the industry. Yes.
And would you say mentorship is a key component in trying to achieve that goal?
Yes. Now, one thing I want to mention is that you cannot progress your candidates from candidature to professional registration without mentorship.
Yes.
You know, every candidate has to be effectively and efficiently mentored. That's why we have our structured mentorship, our structured candidature program, so that we make sure that our candidates are not just registered as such and left to their own devices, but to ensure that those professionals practicing out there in the built environment management professions are also involved in mentoring these candidates. That's the only way you can progress from being a candidate to
professional.
Yes. We were all mentored at one point in our lives.
Yes,
Many,
absolutely.
Great project managers and construction managers before. So we would also want to see the mentorship coming in as one of the key focuses of the council.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Nkosi. Thanks for your time. And remember that email address, it's admin@sacpcmp.org.za. Goodbye.
Harnessing the power of talk radio. Brandlive.co.za